Hello, Josh here.
Michelle.
And we are Adventures Ahead. It is late night. That's why there was a delay.
Yeah.
This is like a midnight video. So, okay, today we're going to be talking about, Michelle?
What to consider when you're booking a cruise.
Right. Or, you know, what cruise is best for you.
Yeah, like how do you pick what cruise to go on?
Right. For us, one of the main things is, now sometimes we pick a cruise for ports, sometimes we pick a cruise for ship. So it's different, but I would say ports is a big one. Now, like, I would say if it's a cruise that we've been to a lot of the ports, normally we're picking it for the ship. Mm-hmm. Like if we're going to like Cozumel and things like this, then we're picking it more for the ship.
Yeah.
Than the ports. But the ports are important.
Yeah, I like to visit one new port every time if possible.
I mean, a couple of the, you know, of course, the ones that you really like and enjoy.
Oh, yeah.
Some of them for us, name off the top of my head, is Half Moon Cay, Grand Turk, St. Martin.
Aruba.
Tortola.
Yeah.
Like those places we can go over and over again and it would be fine.
Oh,
I mean, Nassau was fine. Cozumel's fine for multiple visits as well.
Yeah. But you know, there's probably some places that you don't want, or we prefer not to go.
Right.
Like, not your favorite
And so
places.
that's also goes into picking what cruise is good for you. Is like if it's like, man, like if it was a cruise that we really like, it was a ship that we liked, but it was going to like St. Kitts and some other places we didn't really care for, Belize and stuff, I'd be like,
St. Kitts, Belize.
Not that it would go to those because I don't think they're not matched up.
Right.
But yeah, so that's one thing to consider. Next, I already talked about it, is the ship. There's a lot of things that actually go into consider for a ship if it's right for you for a cruise as well. So the size of the ship can go into those factors. Smaller ships have their own charm, but I understand why people don't like to cruise on those, because to tell you the truth, we've done, we've done the Magic and the Mardi Gras, and then we went to a size smaller than those two,
the Freedom.
Or Freedom, and it was different.
Yeah, there's less things to do.
I was used to having more dining options. I was used to this, and then I went in a ship that didn't have as much, and I was like, this is kind of like, I don't know if I cared for as much, actually. I'm being honest.
Well, we were on that ship for a long time.
Right. So, so with the dining options, I mean, what are you considering with it?
Well, I'd say, like, the longer the cruise, the more dining options that you'll want.
Right.
For us.
Yes, I would agree with that.
We're not MDR, main dining room people every night. So.
Right. Yep, that's true. So, yeah, and then the also, depending on who you're cruising with, I mean, and how if you're, like, with a family, I would consider, like, probably Dream Class or higher.
Yeah, one of the bigger ships.
Right.
More things to do,
Vista
more variety.
Class, Mardi Gras, yeah. If you're with a family, I would say, I mean, because there's, like you said, more things to do on the ship. And I know a lot of people that are friends of ours enjoy a ship with a lot more things to do on it. Vista Class or, the Mardi Gras. And yeah, so also a thing to consider is where it's going out of, the ship. So what are some things to consider where it's going out of, Michelle?
Oh, well, that determines whether you can drive or fly sometimes. You know, like if we're going on a cruise out of Baltimore, we're definitely not going to fly there because it's a 9-hour drive.
Right. So we can drive, save some money on air flight. Also, we can maybe pack a little differently because we are driving. We can bring some things that we normally wouldn't bring, or we can bring things home that we normally wouldn't buy because of flying. So there's some things that go into that. And I understand, man, we drove a bunch of times to Florida. We drove to Alabama. We drove to New Orleans.
Drove everywhere.
Those days are behind us at this point. But yeah, so I mean, we understand the driving to port and saving some money. But also, you got to understand that's going to eat up some time of your vacation.
Yeah, you got to consider, like, sometimes you might have to take more time off work, and what's your time worth then at that point?
Right.
So we've decided flying for us is better over, 10 or 12 hours.
That's right. Another thing to consider is the length of the cruise. I see that a lot on different pages and stuff, Facebook pages. A lot of people are like, "Oh, my first cruise is a 5-day. Is that good length, or is 7-day too long for my first cruise?" I see people ask that a lot. What are your thoughts on that, Michelle?
It just depends on what you're thinking. Our first cruise was 7 days, and
I know we were worried about that. We're like, is that too long for a first cruise? And I'd say yes. I would say if it's your first cruise, I would say a 5-day.
7 days or shorter.
Right. I would say a 5-day is probably perfect for someone's first cruise.
Well, yeah, because you don't know if you're going to get on there and hate it. I mean, a cruise is what you make of it, but there also are some limited things to do. Like some people feel claustrophobic or feel like, well, gosh, I wish I could do this. So,
right.
Yeah, I'd say 7 days or shorter would be the first cruise option. Josh said 5 days.
I would say 5 days is perfect for someone's first cruise. Michelle says 7 or shorter. So yeah, that, and like I said before, yeah, so some of this, we'll go back to the ship size. Some of them have different, like I said, with activities with a family. You have like the bigger ships, you have the rope course, you have the sky ride. Well, the basketball's on all of them. You have sky ride, you have all that kinds of stuff on bigger ships that you don't have on the smaller ships. So if you have, like I said, we said before, if you have a family, I would consider the bigger size ships, Vista class and stuff like that. What is the next thing here, Michelle?
Your budget.
Right. That's another thing to consider when you're, picking a cruise.
Yeah, so that determines what time of the year you could go to. Because typically, when kids are out of school, that's the time when cruises are most expensive, like summertime. Right. It's also like the hottest time of the year. So I would personally not choose to go on a cruise during the summer.
And we don't.
No.
So we do not cruise between April
and August.
We do not cruise those months because of the heat and more money. We choose to cruise, and I guess technically it's the off season of cruising.
Yeah, but it's good for us because we live in Michigan.
And we have cruised during hurricane season, and
we like it.
It was never an issue at all. So,
and we're cruising again during hurricane season this year.
And who knows, things could go differently, but we are cruising again during hurricane season this year. So that's not a concern for us as well. So, is there anything else that you can think of when picking your cruise? What other things to consider when picking your cruise?
No, I would just say a compilation of all those things goes into consideration when we're choosing a cruise.
Right. So one thing I was thinking about was when we started flying, we really had to be cautious about what we were packing more. So we used to just drive, like we said, and we would just pack way too much. Way too much. So I think when you fly, it helps you, manage your packing as well. We can still tone it down for sure, but that's another thing to consider. But yeah, anything else to consider, honey?
I don't think so.
I think that covers it. So
tell us some of the options that you guys pick when you're picking a cruise.
Because we don't think of everything.
Yeah.
So
those are some of the things that we consider for sure and are important to us.
Yes. And if you don't know, we do have a Facebook page, and the name of it is
Adventures Ahead Cruising Group.
Yes. And go check it out. We do a lot of stuff there. We have a fun community of cruisers and travelers and like-minded people. And
we just like to have fun.
Yes. We like to have fun. It's not super serious. And if you would like, comment, subscribe, we would appreciate it.
Ding!
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye, guys.